Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today, we are going to tackle a huge change in SAP S/4HANA, the move over to the business partner model. We're going to break down what it is, why it matters, and then walk you step by step through creating a vendor using this new approach. All right, let's get right into it. So right off the bat, if you're coming from the old SAP world, from ECC, you're probably thinking, hold on, we had our T codes for customers, our T codes for vendors. It worked. Why on earth did they change it? And you know what? That is a totally fair question. The answer really gets to the heart of what makes the business partner concept such a game changer. So here's the deal. In the old days, your customer and vendor information lived in completely different houses. You had a customer master record over here and a totally separate vendor master record over there. S/4HANA gets rid of all that and gives us one central hub, the business partner. It's now the single front door for creating, changing, and looking at data for literally anyone you do business with. And that brings us to the big idea itself. Just think of the business partner as a kind of universal digital contact card for your entire company. It's one single record that can hold every piece of information about your relationship with a person or another organization. So what is it really? A business partner, or BP for short, is the main object you use to manage all this master data. It can be a company, a single person, you name it. The absolute key here is that it holds all that general stuff, name, address, bank details in just one spot. No more updating an address in 5 different places and just praying you got them all. Okay, so to really wrap our heads around this, you gotta understand its 3 main building blocks: how the data is layered, the different roles you can give it, and something called grouping that handles the ID number. Let's break each of those down. First up, the data. Think of it like a pyramid. At the very top, the widest part, you have the client-level data. This is the general stuff like the company name and address that's true for your entire organization. Then you get a little more specific at the company code level. This is where the financial info lives. And finally, right at the pointy end, you have the purchasing org level data, which is all about procurement. Next, we have the BP role. This is a brilliant concept. It's basically like giving your contact different hats to wear. You can say, okay, Acme Corp, today you're wearing your vendor hat. And by assigning that role, you suddenly unlock all the data fields you need to treat them as a vendor. Tomorrow, they could also wear a customer hat. And the last piece of the puzzle is BP grouping. Now, don't let the name intimidate you. This one's actually super straightforward. It's all about how the business partner gets its ID number. You can either let the system just give you the next number in line, that's internal, or you can decide to type in a specific number yourself, that's external. Simple as that. So putting it all together, to cook up a complete vendor, we're going to need 3 main roles. We always start with the general role, 0000, for all that basic info. Then we add the FLV00 role for the finance-specific data. And finally, we top it off with FLV01 for all the purchasing details. See how these roles line up perfectly with those data levels we just talked about? All right, theory time is over. Let's get our hands dirty and actually build one of these things. We're going to start at the top, laying the foundation with that general client-level data. And our entire journey begins with one beautiful, simple T code, BP. Just 2 letters. Gone are the days of memorizing different codes for customers and vendors. Now, BP is your one-stop shop for everything. So from your SAP Easy Access screen, all you're going to do is type BP right into that command field and hit enter. And that single, simple action takes you straight to the main business partner screen. Once you're in, you'll want to click the Organization button to start creating a new business. This will pop you right into the general data screen, and our first job is to fill out the basics: the name, address, all that standard stuff. This is that top-level general data we were talking about. Now, while we're still in this general view, let's just tab over to payment transactions. This is, of course, super important. It's where we'll plug in the vendor's bank information. And just remember, all the info we've put in so far is at that highest level, so it can be used across your entire company. Okay, our foundation is laid, the general data is saved. Now it's time to build the next floor, and that means adding the financial layer. We're going to do that by assigning a new role to get a view that's specific to one of our company codes. And how do we do that? It's easy. In the Display in BP role dropdown, we're just going to switch from the general view to FLVN00, which stands for Fi Vendor. The moment you do that, it's like a key turning a lock. A whole new set of finance-related tabs and fields become available. On this screen, we'll hit the Company Code button. Then we enter which of our company codes this vendor works with, And then, and this is a big one, we enter the reconciliation account. You have to get this right because this field is literally the glue that connects everything this vendor does to your main financial books. Okay, let's do a quick progress check. We've got general data, check. We've got finance data, check. So what's left? The final piece of the puzzle, the purchasing data. This is what will actually allow your procurement team to buy things from this vendor. And I bet you know the drill by now, right? We're going to switch the role one more time. We'll hop back to that drop-down menu, and this time we're picking FLVN01, which is the supplier role. This opens up that last set of fields we need to fill in. This is the home stretch. We click on purchasing, we tell the system which purchasing organization is going to be buying from this vendor, we set things like the order currency, we hit save, and bam, that's it. The vendor is officially live and ready for purchase orders. So we've gone through all 3 levels, we've entered all our data, and we've hit save. We think we're done, but, we got to double check, right? Let's do a quick verification to make absolutely sure everything worked the way it was supposed to. And there's a really handy T-code for this exact purpose, MKVZ. You can think of this as your Show Me All the Vendors report. We'll just pop in our purchasing organization code, hit execute, and see what happens. And would you look at that? Success! Our brand new vendor is sitting right there in the list. It's perfect. This is our proof that all the data we entered across those different roles was saved correctly, and this business partner is now a fully functional vendor, ready for business. So let's recap. We just took what used to be a disconnected, sometimes messy process and unified it under a single central record. The huge takeaway here is the power you get from having a single source of truth. And that leaves me with one final thought for you. Now that you've seen how this can streamline your vendor process, what other areas of your business are just crying out for this kind of transformation? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me.